In 2013, as I was about to begin my student teaching experience, I decided that I was going to start a blog that I would update every day. And the title of that blog was, Can I Honestly Learn to Teach? Now, here we are, 12 years later, and I wanted to go back and find out, did I do it? Today is April 15th. It's a Tuesday. It's actually my lunchtime right now because I have to zoom out of here right after school to get to a PLC across town. Last one of the year. Um, so yeah, my new student still isn't here. It makes me nervous because like chronic absenteeism is like the thing that like really gets me. Like I can deal with a lot, but that's like, I don't know, that's the thing that like makes my eye twitch. But I'm hoping it's not that. I'm hoping it's just like a getting settled kind of thing. And once she's here, she's here. But the kids, they keep asking, is she coming today? Is she coming today? I'm like, you know as much as I do. Like I've never met her. All I know is a first name and a last name. But so far today is going well. I made a decision to just like push through social studies because we're doing World War One, and instead of doing 15 minutes of social studies, I did about like 40. But I was like, if I don't, we're either like not going to finish it or they're not really going to understand it. So we really like leaned in to like why World War One started and ally systems and who's mad at who and who pulled who in. I felt good about it. So that means that after lunch, which ends in 14 minutes, I'm gonna have to like triple time to do everything I want to do this afternoon, but I feel like it was worth it. All right, let's see. Day 61, April 15th, 2013. It's testing week, testing week, testing week. For me, that will be next week. Not state tests, but district tests are next week. Wednesday, Friday, and then the following Wednesday. I have never been less excited for a week this semester yet. It's throwing everything off. Our schedule is mixed up. I'm out of the classroom half the week. It's just weird. It's true. On testing days, I'm just like, it is what it is. We get done what we get done. The schedule, I have a general outline of what I hope to get done, and we just like feel our way through it. You never know. You just lean into it. I start proctoring tomorrow morning, and I don't have anything to do. I don't have any books to read for school. I did all my readings the first weekend of class. I don't have any books to read for pleasure. Who has time for that right now? And I can't take my computer to work on my projects. Maybe I can find something to do tomorrow morning before I head in. I know I end up bringing a book that previously was a book I read for like a literature class, maybe 2 or 3 semesters before this. I'd take it in and reread it. I remember that. This week is Week of the Young Child. And consequently, I'm already exhausted. Week of the Young Child it's put on by NACI. What does that stand for? National Association for the Education of Young Children. They do it's like a, week where you're supposed to do events. And so the place I worked at did a real big Week of the Young Child thing. So there was like evening events like every night that week. And then we do a big carnival on Saturday. And I wonder, am I in charge of the carnival this year? No, I think I was in charge of the carnival in 2012. In 2013, I gave it to somebody else because I was like student teaching and stuff. But it was a lot, but it was really fun, but it was a really exhausting week. I'm glad to be getting some extra hours at work this week, but here it is only Monday and I'm already so tired. I cannot wait for this weekend to be over. I take my OPTI final teaching test on Saturday afternoon, and then I have to go. I didn't take it in the afternoon, did I? Who takes them in the afternoon? Surely I meant morning. And then I have to go to work until about 4:30, and then I'm home free. I'm going to put together my teaching notebook this weekend. Who knows? I don't know what a teaching notebook is. I guess it was something I had to turn in, and finish my projects over the rest of the week. I really want to get everything done this week. I wanted to do it this weekend, but I was just so busy and so tired. I think all of the stress is catching up to me, but it's just draining my energy rather than panicking me. I want to be done, and yet I don't. Is that weird? I'm going to miss it, but I'm very ready for it to end. That's me at the end of every single school year. I'm like, oh, like this has been so fun. At the end of the year, 5th grade graduation and the dance and the parties. I'm like, oh, I love you guys. And also get out of here. Bye. I honestly don't know what else to talk about tonight. Today was pretty relaxed at school. Nothing out of the ordinary happened. I didn't have any grand revelations like I usually do. There were no big epiphanies about teaching coming to me today. I don't know. I just don't know. I think I'll go to bed now. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. I think tomorrow is the day I do my big like testing. Ah! That'll be me. That'll be me next Thursday. Testing. It's fine. All right. Yeah, I should eat. Now I only have 11 minutes. And then I gotta go pick them up. So I should eat. Bye. So, today is Wednesday, April 16th. It was a pretty good day. It's a good day in class. We got a lot done. Um, yeah, and then I'm stressing about field trip stuff, about the money stuff. We have so many people that haven't paid yet, and I made the due date next Friday. I mean, I was just like, and this is this is our first year doing this. Like, I know better for next year, but I should have made it earlier because now it's like, okay, we got to buy the tickets because like we're going 3 weeks. We're a month out today. So, yeah. So that's what made my day hard today. But I mean, like class was good. I felt like we accomplished a lot. We have a math quiz tomorrow. I feel like it's going to go well. Usually that means they're going to freaking bomb it for some reason. Like I'm always wrong. I'm always like, it's going to be bad. And then they do great. I'm like, oh, it should be no problem. And then they do something crazy. I don't know. Okay. In 8 minutes, I have a meeting to talk about fifth grade graduation. And then I have to go get my picture. I have to go get my picture taken. I have to be photographed for Teacher of the Year. And I freaking broke a nail yesterday. This is unrelated. I'm just so annoyed because I got my nails done. They look so good. I haven't broken a nail in months. And then I was stripped, tightening my daughter's car seat, and I was just being careless, and I got it caught in the little thing, and it just cracked right in half. It didn't hurt, because it was just like, the top part, but I'm so annoyed because they look so good. I never do this, but I think I might go get it fixed. I'm gonna go get a tip put on because I'm like they look so good. And I had them for one day and then I broke one. Ah! Okay. I don't know. I'm a mess. Let's see what was going on 12 years ago. I feel like these vlogs have gotten more and more frantic and erratic with every day that I've been doing it. Okay. April 16th, that's today. It kind of felt like Wednesday all day today. So it's pretty disappointing each time I realize it's Tuesday, which is like once an hour. Oh, sorry. It really is Wednesday for me. And no school Friday. So it's basically my Thursday. Still, this week is almost halfway over. I'm looking forward to tomorrow because it's my last supervisor evaluation, and I think it's going to be a good one. Since it's just reading this week, I can focus a lot more on what I'm going to do to make it better each day. I just know it's going to be good. I love using the smartboard. I hope that wherever I end up has smartboard equipped classrooms. If they don't, well, then I just may need to write a grant to get some. I have never taught with a smartboard. Everywhere's always had a projector. There's always had a projector, but I've actually never used a smartboard since 5 days after I wrote this, or like whenever the last day I student taught was. Never. Proctoring the test this morning was boring. I was in a fourth grade classroom, and my only job was to pass out the test booklets, which took forever because I had absolutely no idea what any of their names were, and walking around the room picking up the pencils they kept dropping on the floor. Yeah, oh my gosh, test booklets. Like even within my teaching career, like only since, we were still doing end of grade tests in booklets. When did we stop? Maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I kind of miss them. I like doing stuff pencil paper. Other than that, I read my book. Yes, for pleasure. I took a 19th century literature class last spring. I freaking loved that class. No, I should say I loved the content of the class. I hated that class because it was an honors seminar. And to graduate with your honors college degree, you had to take like honors versions of regular classes, but then you had to take 2 honors seminars essentially that were classes only for the honors college. And you can do them whenever. And I sort of front loaded my what do you call it? Like gen eds, the first 2 years of college. And then because I had a little more time, planning out 4 years, I had a little more time at the end. So anyway, I waited to do my honors college seminars until my last year, my senior year, I think, or maybe it was my junior year, whatever, like the last 3 semesters. Most people don't do that. So anyway, all that is to say, I was in this 19th century literature class. I was like, I guess it was last spring. So I guess I was a junior. I was in like the end of my junior year, and most of the people were at the end of their freshman year. So I was a little older. Um, and they were just really annoying. They were really annoying. And what I hated the most was that they never did the reading. They never did the reading. It was a literature class. So like he would be like, okay, like we're talking about Frankenstein. And so you need to read Frankenstein by, April 2nd or whatever. And then we're talking about it. And we come to class and he'd like ask questions. It was like a round table. It was like super casual because it wasn't a big class. The honors seminars are usually pretty small. So it was like a round table discussion. He would like ask questions and people would literally be like, "Oh, yeah, I didn't have time to read it." And he would be like, "Oh, okay." He was so old. He was like, "Oh, we have a case of the honesty this morning." Like he was like trying to be chill. I was like fuming. There were some people who never, ever read. I'm like, what is happening? So I liked the content, but I could not stand the class. It was really annoying. Although he was a really like tough grader on papers. And so I'm sure those people who didn't read probably got a little bit of comeuppance when they couldn't write the paper because they hadn't read the text. But yeah. So I did really enjoy the class content, but I could not stand sitting in the room. Anyhow. We read a play out of a book of 4 plays, which leaves 3 unread. I reread the one we did in class because I really enjoyed it, No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre. That is a good play. Hell is Other People. And then read another and part of a third. I think I'll finish them on Thursday when I proctor again. The test took about as long as I thought it would. I was in there from 9 o'clock to 11:45, but it went by quicker than I expected. It was math, so I think they finished a little faster than they will when it is time for reading. Yeah, that's true. For my own personal experience and my experiences as a teacher, reading tests take 150 years because you have so many passages to read, and then you have to go back through the passages to find the answers. On a similar train of thought, I had just about had it with reading tests by the time I got to the ACT. And so instead of reading the whole passage and then answering the questions, I would just read the questions and search for them in the readings. And some people tell the kids to do this, which I am firmly against, to like look at the questions ahead of time to know what you're looking for. I don't like it because then I feel like you're looking for the answers and sometimes you miss the big picture because sometimes the questions are like, what was the theme of the story? You can't find that like, just looking for individual things. Anyway, I probably would have done better. That was a reminder about a meeting that I'm not going to because I have a different meeting in 1 minute. But anyway, I probably would have done better had I done it the way I was taught in school. And eventually I did because I did it right the third time and improved my overall score by 3 points. But it was still super annoying and took way longer. I should bring this up when I talk to the kids about it. I'm like, yeah, I did it. I did it the way you're trying to do it. Just look for the answers. And then I did it the way you should do it, and I got a way better score, and I got to go to college for free, essentially. I missed the entire morning in kindergarten today, and boy, did I miss it. I was only in Miss Aaron's class for 3 hours today instead of the usual 7, and I did not like it at all. The kids gave me lots of hugs when I got back and kept saying, "We missed you." I felt the exact same way. Tomorrow I get them all day, and then Thursday I'm back in 4th grade where there are no cute little orange and blue chairs, no carpet, and no little voices telling me how awesome I am. It also doesn't help that the teachers had to take down basically everything from their walls, ugh, yes, so as not to give the kids help on their tests. So the rooms are so bland and the walls are blank. Very boring to sit in, very solitary confinement-esque. Sad. Oh, that is the work. See all my beautiful anchor charts. I get a lot of compliments about my anchor charts. They're literally everywhere, but not crazy. It's not crazy. It's just I put them on this wall. But then when it comes time for EOGs and I take them down, the kids will walk in the morning that I have taken them all down and they'll go, "It looks weird in here." Sorry. But since the EOGs are only the last 10 days of school, like I got to pack stuff up anyway. So it's not as crazy. It's easy to be like, well, summer's coming. Like I got to take stuff off the walls, clean, etc. But it is really weird after being used to it all year. Okay, I got to go to my meeting. Bye. Hello. Today is Thursday, April 17th. But baby, it might as well be Friday because it's the freaking weekend. 4-day weekend. Not really, because work day on Monday, but no kid. I don't have to see children in this room until next Tuesday. And that is a gift. I got to rearrange all the seats, which is like a lot of work, but it is, it gives me a chance to shake some things up. Um, I always like every scene chart. I'm like, okay, that was a mistake. Putting them there was a mistake, but I'll do better next time. And then inevitably I'll mess something else up. But it's okay. I feel good. And I don't really have anything to have to do right now because of the workday, but I think I want to try and get next week's lesson plans like done and printed and everything so that I can do some other stuff on Monday. And I could work on national board because my reader got my first draft back to me and she left me a lot of notes, which is good. That's what I want. Like mark this up, please. Eat this up. Like rip it up so that I can make it. I just need to I just need to pass. Please, like, don't make me do this again. Um, but yeah, I feel good right now. I just threw so much stuff away. I love throwing stuff away. I love throwing stuff away. It's like makes me happier than most things. At school, at home, I love to just get a pile of stuff and just throw it away. That reminds me, I remember one time, not when I was student teaching with Aaron, but it was one of the like pre-student teaching semesters where you go for like 1 day a week or 2 days a week. I think this was a 1 day a week thing. I was in a class, she taught second grade, and the kids did like a math fluency thing, like, where you like have a minute to answer as many questions as you can. I do those sometimes too, not all the time, but I do them sometimes. Just the kid think it's fun, or it's just good to know like how fact fluent are we. But anyway, I remember she collected all the papers from the kids and immediately threw them into the trash can, which I am like, yeah, there's no reason to keep those. And also at the time, and I still stand by this, I thought like throwing it into the trash can like in front of them was like kind of bold. Like as an adult, I understand like nobody needs those papers. But I remember thinking like, oh, do the kids feel like any type of way about just all of their work going straight into the garbage? And so what I do is I have over there those white drawers. Those white drawers. Each kid has their own drawer and they can they keep stuff in it, like their workbooks, or anytime I say like keep a paper safe, like that's an option. That's one of their storage spaces. And then I have one of those drawers because I have 27 of those drawers because they came in sets of nine. I don't have 27 kids. So I have 24 of the drawers like set aside for the kids, even though I only have 19 kids right now. Like I'm always just in my brain, I'm always just like prepared. I have everything in sets of 24 because I feel like that's not the most kids I've ever had in a class, but it feels like the largest reasonable amount of kids to have in a class. The year I had more than that was not a good year. But the 25th drawer, that's my secret garbage drawer. So if I collect things from the kids that I know that I do not need, I'm not giving back to them. We're not putting in data binders. Like I'll write the grade down, or sometimes we don't do things for a grade. We just do things to do them, because they're good for practice. But I'll tuck everything in the drawer so they see me like check the papers, and I put the papers in the drawer. So it gives the illusion of like I'm keeping it, like you've turned them in, I've collected them, and they go in my drawer. And as far as the kids know, they come out of the drawer and, I grade, whatever. But every Friday, or today, Thursday, I take everything in the drawer and I put it in the trash can after school. And I love emptying my drawer. It's my favorite. So that's just what I'm thinking about today. And yeah, I kind of treat today as a Friday, so a little more casual. Like I gave them Thursday free time instead of Friday free time if they'd gotten all their work done. And I didn't really skip anything today. We pretty much did most, and I skipped one thing, but we did most of what I wanted to do. So I would say it was a good day. I would say this was a good week, to be honest. Still haven't met my new student. So that's weird. All right, let's see what was going on 12 years ago on April 17th, which was a Thursday. April 17th. Here we go, day 63. It's raining, it's pouring. The weather was super weird today. It was a little chilly when I left this morning, 7 a.m. And by the time I got to school, it had warmed up pretty well. We didn't get to go outside though because it was too wet. The playground was like a lake, which was annoying. By the time the final bell rang, it was warm and very windy. It felt like perfect tornado weather, but the sky was gray and not green, so I wasn't too worried. I am not scared of tornadoes. People get real scared of tornadoes. I guess, yeah. I don't know. I mean, if I was like literally in the middle of a tornado, that would be scary. But the like concept of a tornado doesn't freak me out like it does a lot of people here. Because North Carolina will get tornadoes, but not like, but they're kind of rare. So it's, if something's rare, it's a little scarier when it's rare. Like earthquakes in Oklahoma. I'm sure maybe people in California are like, oh, that was just a little earthquake. But in Oklahoma, we're like, what is happening? Why am I shaking? During class tonight, it rained for literally 30 seconds. Oh, yeah, I had Wednesday night classes. I forgot that I had to do that. This is the first time I've mentioned it. A Wednesday night, I was taking a grad school like class. It's like a 3-hour class. It rained for literally 30 seconds. A few big drops hit the window and I got excited, and then no more. It just started pouring down about 15 minutes ago, and there's a ton of lightning and thunder. Why am I talking so much about the weather? Oh, all of this has absolutely nothing to do with teaching. I just really felt like reporting the weather. Thanks for listening. Okay, whatever. As far as teaching goes, today was awesome. Oh, yay. I had my last supervisor evaluation today and it went really, really well. I taught probably the best, or at least one of the best, reading lessons I've taught all semester. I have no memory of like what teaching reading looks like in kindergarten. I've never described it in detail. And obviously it wasn't traumatic because I remember a little more about teaching math. But yeah, I'm saying that I'm teaching reading. I do not know what I was teaching them. How to read or like comprehension? I don't know. I have no, I don't remember what the curriculum was. I don't know. All 26 kids were here today and the smart board was acting up. So I was thinking, oh no, but the technology played nice with me today and the kids were listening as much as 26 kindergartners ever will, and were engaged and were demonstrating higher order thinking skills. Okay, so I guess I was doing comprehension. I don't know. I was ecstatic. It was a great note to finish on. Tomorrow, I just teach reading in the afternoon since I have testing in the morning. I guess that means the lesson I did today with my kids was the last one I'll ever do with them since I do Margie's class in the afternoon and I don't do reading on Fridays. Why don't I do reading on Fridays? Did we not teach reading on Fridays? Wow, this is just now hitting me. I will never teach my class a lesson again. And now I'm sad. Oh. Now, how did I post this at 6:12? When was that class? That class must have been, it must not have been 3 hours. It must have been a shorter one. It must have been like 4 to 5:30 or something, because I wouldn't have been able to get back. I don't know. I have no memory. I could probably pull up a transcript and see. All right. Well, let's see. So tomorrow I don't work, but I did work then. I won't. Is this all going to work out? I don't think I have another day off of student teaching. So I'm going to be too behind. I don't know. Maybe I'll vlog tomorrow from home. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm not planning on coming in here. That's for sure. I think I'm going to take my daughter to the movies. I don't know what's playing, but I know the Minecraft movie is playing. I refuse. This is where I draw the line. I refuse. It's quoted into my face 1,000 times per day. I'm not going to that one, but I'm sure there's something else that we can go to. Yeah. Wow, it's 2:40 and I feel so free. I feel so light. Like I could go home right now. I don't have to do anything. I'm gonna do stuff, but I don't have to. That's a good feeling. Going to enjoy this. Hello. Today is Monday, April 21st, and it is a teacher work day. I did not come in last Friday because it was a holiday. I didn't even think about coming in. I did not do my vlog. I didn't do anything. I mean, I did things, but not a lot school related. This weekend I did do some work on my what's called National Board recertification, and I really still need to do some more stuff about that. But right now I feel pretty good. It's 10 a.m. I have already had my one meeting that I had today. And so the rest of the day is for me to just like work through my to-do list. So I need to like plan out my small groups for May. I need to like go through all of this. This is like small group stuff. I've already checked it. I just need to like put it together. I need to redo the seating chart. So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I need to work on today. Just a lot of like, I don't know, like I've got my lesson plans and everything done for the week. I just need to I just need to like do a bunch of stuff just in the room. Let's see. So I think I need to do two things today because I did, yeah, because I didn't do on Friday. Okay, so last time, oh yeah, last time I reported the weather. Oh, okay, okay. Here's the one that I've been waiting for. I remember writing this. All right. Day 64, April 18th, 2013. This blog is going to be pretty emotionally charged. I can already tell. I am mad today. Really, really angry. If I gave my blog posts titles, which I don't because I like to keep track of my number of days easily and it's helpful for referencing a specific day's events, today's would be Stop Testing. Today was the last day of testing for all grades except for those children who need to make up a test tomorrow. I proctored the same fourth grade class, except this time they were doing part 2 of the reading test instead of a math test. Part 2, huh? Because I did it across 2 days. It went by much more quickly because there were only 30 some questions rather than 60. 60. That's so many for math. Our state tests are like 40, maybe 45 for math. Anyway, back to my point. As I finished up this morning and was walking to the workroom, I saw that one of the third grade teachers had a sign on her door that said "Stop Testing." One word on the top line, one word on the bottom. All of the teachers had similar signs to inform people in the hallways to be quiet. But this one in particular grabbed my attention because it wasn't punctuated. So it really made it look like a protest sign more than anything. Oh yeah, it was like "Stop Testing." So like people didn't go in the room. I know it wasn't meant to look this way, but I definitely agree with the sentiment. Beyond the fact that it looked like a protest sign, it mirrored my thoughts the entire time I was proctoring. Stop testing. Please stop testing. It sounds like I wanted them to rush through and just get it over with. That's not it. I just wanted them to be done for their sake and selfishly for my own. This week was draining and I wasn't even testing. I'm also not 9 years old. It was just too much. Our kids were stressed out. They were so over it by the end of today. And then there were all these signs over the third through fifth grade hallways that said things like, "When the tests are done, we can have some fun." They sounded better than that, but the point is that they were rhyming and they all said basically the same thing. What kind of message are we sending when we say, "Okay, the tests are over, now let's have fun"? I know that I was bored to death proctoring the tests, but I wouldn't have shown it to the kids. If I were a child and I had a bunch of adults basically sitting around staring at me while I took a test, knowing that when I finished, we would get to have fun for the first time in forever, why would I want to prolong that anymore? The very last question on the test today was a writing one. Yeah, right. Like a bunch of fourth graders who just sat through a 2-hour math test and then a 2-hour reading test are going to want to sit down and write an essay. That is exactly why when I take any test, and mind you, I am a college senior now, haven't changed my tactics, I flip right to the end to see if there's a long answer section, and I do that first. Usually they're at the end, so I always check. Then I do short answer, then I do multiple choice. It's because after I answer 60 some multiple choice problems, I am so over it that anything I write is going to be just awful. I have to do it first because writing is where you can really show what you know. You can guess on multiple choice questions if you have absolutely no idea, which takes the pressure off, but you can't guess on an essay. Now, I've done my fair share of BSing my way through writing prompts I wasn't fully prepared for. Cough, AP Senior English. My dad taught that class. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Senior English. Okay, no, that's right. Oh my gosh, yeah, I took an AP class and the teacher was like totally checked out. And so when it came to the AP test, like, I mean, I would certainly say the teacher had not prepared me at all, but I was able to I was good enough at the time that I could whip something out. I just remember it was about Alice in Wonderland. That's all I remember. Or Through the Looking Glass. I don't know. It was, yeah. I did pass. I got a 3. I still do okay because I'm a pretty strong writer. Yeah. But that's just something I've developed over time. And it definitely wasn't there when I was 9. Too many questions equals brain shutdown. Those kids probably wrote a single paragraph over their prompt when there was space for at least 3. But they were done. I was done. It was all just stupid at that point. I forgot that they did writing. So RC tests don't have writing, which I mean, if they did, maybe people would do writing more. I do it every day. I feel like our school does a really good job at like making sure we're still doing writing. But I've definitely worked at schools where it's like, oh, you teach writing? Why? Um, I had so many thoughts. Okay, first of all, I still agree with myself about I would prefer to do an essay first. When I took my national board test, like when was that? Almost 4 years ago, because I was pregnant. Um, I you can't do that. It's like on the computer. You can't like flip around. And I had to do all the multiple choice and then write my 3 essays. And I do wish it had been the other way around, but it was fine. Like I passed. I did really well on them. But um yeah, I don't know. Just I thought I remembered like being in my mind, I was mad at like the idea of testing, and I still see that in here, but I also see now that I was frustrated with the approach to it as well. This idea that like we can't have any fun until we're done with the test, and then we're gonna have all kinds of fun. I agree with myself that I think that is the wrong way to approach it. Like it's disingenuous to imply that like the tests themselves are fun. Like they obviously aren't. But I don't think the right way to go about it is to be like, look, these are stupid, but we just have to do them because they're not stupid. They're not worthless. Like you can get some information. Some people would say that they are, that they're totally worthless. I disagree. It gives you like a point of reference. Now, I do hear people say the end of grade tests are um I forget what it is. Like during the school year, like the ones we're taking this week, you can use it to adjust your practice. So they're like a diagnosis, basically. But the end of grade tests are more like an autopsy. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, when I get the results back, I can see how my students did, and I can see, you know, where strengths and weaknesses are. I can't do anything about at that point because they've moved on. They're moving on to sixth grade. So it's more of an autopsy for me, like to see, okay, maybe like what did I not do great on? But it's hard because every year is different. So it's like sometimes it's not that I taught it poorly. It's just like, I don't know, this class didn't catch on to it. But if I could do it the exact same way next year and it might be a different story. So it is, yes, like end of grade tests are less helpful than any of the other ones we do, but they're not worthless. And I don't appreciate when kids come in and say like, oh, my parents said like, I don't really have to worry about this because it's just like to see how the teacher did or like how the school did, or like, I mean, it's politicized in our school report cards and there's so much in our funding and like all that. Yes. And I know parents are trying to like teach their kids that, it's not there's layers to it. Um, and I don't want, and I'll tell the kids, they'll say, like, if I don't pass this, do I get to go to sixth grade? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is just, your sixth grade teachers will get this information to see kind of where you're coming in with. Like, I'm not going to lie to them and tell them that it's going to retain them if they don't pass it. But I don't want them to think that it's like stupid, that they shouldn't try, because it does go on to the next year, and it does like play into a little bit like what their path in middle school will look like. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, but um, yeah. Another thing I hate about testing as a monitor is how you can't help the kids. Yeah. One girl, when she finally got to the essay, 1.5 million questions later, had no idea what it was asking her. I sort of guessed as much when I saw the look on her face after she read through it, and I knew it for sure when she raised her hand and straight up told me, I don't understand this question. It was a dead giveaway. I'm not as intuitive as I pretend to be. I told her, read the directions and do your best. She looked at me hopelessly and said, but I don't get it. I don't know what it wants me to do. I just said, I'm so sorry. I can't help you. I threw in that so before my sorry, so maybe she would understand how much I really wanted to help her. As teachers, we kind of toss around, I'm sorry, and use it in situations when we're really not that sorry. So and so said I was a baby. I'm sorry. I tore my paper while I was erasing it. I'm sorry. I don't like this snack today. I'm sorry. So I threw in the so because I really was so sorry. I wanted to help her understand. I don't get why I couldn't. What good does it do for a child to answer a question she doesn't fully comprehend? She could have had the most amazing essay in the world, and she could know everything about whatever the subject of the essay was supposed to be. I didn't actually read the prompt, but now I kind of wish I had. But she didn't get the question, and I couldn't help her. I feel absolutely horrible watching her struggle. My instincts are to help. I don't see why it matters. I do hate that during EOGs when a kid will raise their hand and they'll want to know, like, and a lot of times they're just confirming what they already think. They just want me, they go, like, I'm thinking this, like, is that right? And it's hard because during the whole school year, like, even on a test, I'll just like, I'll give them a little, like, yeah, like, you're nailing this. Like, don't, like, be confident, you know? On the EOG, I'm not supposed to say anything. It's really hard. It's really hard to break that habit. Because sometimes they just want to know that they're right. And a lot of times they are right. And I don't want to be like, I can't tell, you know, like, I don't know. And then them be like, oh, shoot, I'm wrong. Like second guess themselves. I don't know. It is hard. I do wish, but I understand there's like a fine line between like encouraging them and like telling them the answer. I get it. It's just, I agree with myself. I know. Testing is stupid. It's so stupid. I'm not just saying that because I had to sit at the back of a freezing cold classroom for hours this week. I'm not just saying it because it was inconvenient for all of us to switch around classrooms and leave teachers, Erin, in a classroom alone with 26 nutbag kids. I'm not even saying it because the third, fourth, and fifth graders didn't want to take the tests and were bored taking the tests or were even stressed out taking the tests. Test anxiety is a scary thing for kids, yes, but that's not why I think testing is stupid. I think it's stupid because it takes the most minute of facts and makes kids demonstrate their knowledge 60 times in a row. It's stupid because there are 5 problems that all look at the exact same thing. It's stupid because we teach them for years that what they know cannot be measured on a test. Tests can be wrong. Even in kindergarten, on the writing test we had to give them, they were wrong. One of our greatest writers floundered. Some of our weakest writers had a rare stroke of genius. Good for them, but still not reflective of daily work. Tests don't show what we think they do, or want them to, or expect them to. Testing is stupid. It's stupid because it's just really, really, really stupid. I can't explain it better than that. I wish I could. I wish everyone could understand how meaningless this whole week was for all of us. As I've said, I somewhat disagree, but I get what I mean. And now tomorrow we get to have fun because school isn't fun until your tests are finished. How nice. How encouraging. Honestly, how stupid can we be? That was my feelings. Okay, I think I'm going to stop this video and then go do the other one just to keep them separate. I didn't do that earlier in my run. Last time there was teacher work day and I regret that. So I'm going to stop it now and then do the next one. Hi, it's still February 22nd. I just stopped the previous video. I'm just catching up from the holiday on Friday. So I just did the 64th day of school, which was the Thursday, which was my anti-testing rant. And now we'll do Friday. Let's see. Friday, April 19th, 2013. Oh, that was my friend, one of my best friends from middle school. Her birthday is April 19th. All right. I can't believe we only have 1 week left. It feels unreal. My semesters usually have me going from excitement, beginning, to settling into routine, beginning, middle, to restlessness, middle, to desperation and burnout, middle, late, to a belief that it is never going to be over, and then surprise when I realize I'm almost done. End. The same is true, maybe even more true than ever, this semester and kind of in the school year. Okay. Exciting at the beginning. I'm nervous at the beginning, but then I get into routine like September and October. We're like in a routine. Restlessness like November and December. There's so many like holidays that mess up. November in particular feels like you're in school for 3 seconds the whole month. And then December. Then we come back in January and I kind of get back into the routine. Like January feels good. There's still days off. February, like the end of February to March is that like burnout, like desperation, like, oh my God, can we just make it to spring break? And then we come back after spring break and I'm feeling like routine again, like we've been back for, was it 3 weeks now? I feel like we're getting back into a routine. And then May usually feels pretty good. And then towards the end of May, it can get a little like crazy, but then we're so close to the end that like I don't feel the burnout again. I feel like the end is in sight. We're so close. So like it's already April 21st. This is just a 4-day week. We've got next week, and then it's May, and May always goes faster than I think it's going to. So, yeah, I follow that. This is similar. It's just this one was a little more like, I don't know, excitement, restless, desperate, and then like, and the school year is a little like with all the breaks and stuff. Right now, I feel like I'm never going to leave this school. And it's not because I've reverted to the desperate, oh my God, let it be over, get me out of here mentality that hit me right after spring break. It's because I don't want to leave. I don't want to say goodbye. I feel like I belong at this school and with these kids and with Aaron as my mentor, and I truly am not ready for it to be over. Over the last week, I've been feeling a bit down about all of this. For a while, as I'm sure you remember if you've been reading my blog all semester, I was so frustrated with my class and I just wanted to be done with this for good. I didn't want to have anything to do with them. I feel terrible about that now. And I was so over it all. But now I wish I could take it all back. I don't want to leave. I've been feeling such a tremendous amount of love for these kids, all of these kids this week. Maybe it's because I was out of the classroom for 2 mornings and it was so dreadfully boring that I missed them and they missed me. And when I got back, we hugged and were happy. But regardless of why I feel this way, I do. I miss them. I have 7 more days with them and I already miss them. And I'm also like about to graduate, about to get married, about to move to a new city, about to. And why do I not know that I have my job yet? When? Okay. April 19th. This all centers around the Oklahoma City bombing because I got the call with the job offer on the night before the memorial run in 2013, which is always on a Saturday or a Sunday. No, I don't remember. But anyway, it's got to be soon because the bombing was on April 19th and the run is always okay. So this is Friday. Maybe I get the call this weekend, like after I've written this, because I'm sure the marathon was the weekend after the 19th, although it could have been the next weekend. But like, yeah, I don't know it yet, but I'm moving cities and I have a new job. Today, Aaron left at lunch, and so I had control of the classroom. Jenny was there, of course, lifesaver, in the afternoon. It went pretty well. Nap time, I keep forgetting we had nap time. Nap time was rough because the weather was finally nice, and I could just tell they wanted to go outside and run. So run we did. I am so ready for this crazy weather to get a hold of itself and be spring already. For the love of God, it's April 19th. I should not be freezing cold, literally. Next week is supposed to be a little bit nicer, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Tomorrow morning, I'm taking my final teaching test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have the carnival the next day. Okay, so then I can't go to Oklahoma City for the memorial. Maybe they have it, maybe they have it a week later. Ooh, I want to know, when did I get this job offer? I think that after 4 years, if I don't know this stuff by now, then I shouldn't be doing this at all, probably. It's kind of coincidental, though, annoyingly coincidental, that I have to do this right after ranting about standardized testing yesterday. Yeah, that is funny. This week is going to be pretty emotional. I can already tell this next week. Let me just say it right now. If I don't cry, oh, no, that's not what okay, let me try this again. Let me just say right now, I don't cry. If I get punched in the face, I probably would. And if I get really, really scared, I do. Like when Mike came into the apartment when I wasn't expecting him and I thought I was about to get murdered. Oh my God. I forgot about this. It wasn't, I'm saying it like the apartment, like it's mine, but it's not. It was his apartment. And he was going to the freaking laundry building to do his laundry. And when he left, I deadbolted the door because I deadbolt every door. Like, are you serious? I'm always behind a locked door. And what was it? I was watching a movie. For some, I guess I thought that he was staying down there. I don't know, because obviously I knew that he had gone to get to do the laundry. I guess I wasn't expecting him back so soon. I don't know. Anyway, he tried to open the door. What was it? It was like I blocked it and he tried to open it. Maybe it wasn't a deadbolt. Maybe I had the chain on or something. It was like the door opened a little bit and the chain stopped it. And I started crying because I thought I was getting murdered. I don't know. I forgot about that. That happened like a couple of years before I wrote this blog post. That's funny. But for the most part, it's not something I do when I'm emotional. But I'm gonna cry for these kids. I'm definitely, definitely going to cry. I'm a crier now. I remember for many years I was sort of like, yeah, yeah, I don't cry. Like I don't cry. I'm not a crier. Like in movies or like, I don't cry. Shoot, I cry all the time now. Not all the time, but like I don't. Yeah, I'll get like teared up listening to the freaking like Mulan soundtrack, and Sophie will be like, "Are you crying up there?" I'm like, "Sure am, sure am." She climbed the poles to get the arrow. She's so strong. So yeah, I'm over that. But I do remember that I was like, "Yeah, I don't cry." All right, so I think I'm all caught up now, and I've wasted 20 minutes, not wasted, but I've been doing this for 20 minutes now, so it's time to buckle down. I probably have like maybe like an hour and a half before I'll go get lunch. And so I'm gonna see if I can get a lot done. That'll be my goal to try and get as much done as I can before lunch, because when I come back after lunch, it's always harder to stay focused. Bye. Hey, today is Tuesday, May 22nd. No, no, I wish, but no, April 22nd, 2025. Oh, my new student arrived today. What do you call it when you learn something new? When you do the adjustment period. It's just I can't even think of the adage I'm trying to use right now, but it's yes, there's gonna be a little bit of an adjustment period, but it's gonna be fine. Oh, we have testing tomorrow. I had to cover up all of my reading stuff in the green. I was gonna cover up everything. I'm like, no, I don't have to do that. I'll cover the reading stuff for the reading, then I'll move it for the math, then I'll move it for the science. Because otherwise, it's a huge waste of paper. The biggest pain in the butt is covering the number line. And math is on Friday. So I'll deal with that on Thursday after school, because on Thursdays after school, I don't have to do anything. And I'm setting a calendar reminder right now, or I'm going to forget cover math stuff. Okay. Um, yeah, so I hope the test tomorrow goes well. Like I said, it's reading. So it's one of those where I just feel like it kind of is what it is. I reading isn't a quick fix. You know, doing what I can. We just gonna kind of see where the chips fall and go from there. I'll cross my fingers. I know I'll have some heartbreakers. There's always a cluster every year where it's like, you know, some days are really good, some tests go really well, and then it can like kind of go either way. So, um, yeah, it's just tomorrow. The biggest annoying thing is because of the test, the schedule's changed, and so we only get 30 minutes for specials. Boo. But I don't know. That sucks more for the people who aren't taking a test on schedule change days, because they have shorter specials, but they don't. I'm like, at least I have like 2 hours where I don't really have to do anything and I didn't have to plan anything. I just got to make sure like I got to administer the test appropriately and then just kind of hope for the best. So, yeah, it'll be fine. And then when the test is over, the rest of the day is always really weird. So again, like I have my must do's, like I want to accomplish. I got like three things basically. Like I really want to accomplish this, something for reading, something for math, something to science that I have to get done. And everything else is what it is. And some of my teammates were like, okay, what time are you gonna like do things tomorrow? Like right after the test ends, like what are you gonna do? What in what order? I said, I will do I will follow where my heart leads. My heart will tell me tomorrow. It will guide me in the right direction. When the test is over, I'll be able to feel if it's the right time for math or science or reading. Probably not reading, because they'll have just done reading, but my heart will tell me if it's time for math or science tomorrow. And we'll just follow the heart. Okay, let's see what's going on. 12 years ago, was I also testing? No, I think that I would be testing tomorrow, because we're on day 66, right? Because it's a Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so we're back. It's April 22nd, so it's exactly 12 years ago. I sit here today again, not quite sure what to write about. Today was another fairly uneventful day. Can't relate. Thanks so much. Aaron is leaving at 11:45 every day this week to do second grade swim. Oh, yeah, that's right. The second graders learned how to swim. It's every day they took like, I think it was just this one week. They took a half day. It was like every afternoon they went to a pool and it was sort of like a crash course in like swimming and water safety. And Erin helped teach it. I think it was just something that she was like passionate about. I don't know if she had lifeguarded in her past or whatever, but it was just like something that every year, like that was something that she helped with, second grade swim, which was really fun. We have some schools here in our district who do, you have to get it through like a grant. So some schools do this. Most school, I've never worked at a school that did, but our fourth graders, maybe third graders, someone this year, our PE teachers did a grant for them to learn how to ride bikes. So somebody brought like, there were like 60 bikes just stacked in the behind the stairs every day. And they would go out and I guess it wasn't 60 because it was only one class at a time. So maybe like 30. There were like 30 bikes like in the stairs. So it's like those things are fun. And you know, I wish everybody could do everything and it's just not like possible. But this was a fun thing that they did. I forgot about that. I'm once again in charge of handwriting, journaling, teaching Miss Margie's class, and afternoon rotations. I guess I only just thought I was done. Phew. I do feel like I did a lot of running around today, and I definitely had to raise my voice a lot more than normally. The kids were a little, okay, a lot, wound up today in all grades. Hopefully it will be a little calmer tomorrow. I hate days where I feel like I just yelled and got onto them all day long. Boo. Yesterday, I finished my presentation for Wednesday, and so now I'm working on my presentation due Sunday. Wonder what I was presenting about. I guess maybe we had to do like a final capstone, like student teaching project. I don't know. It's probably on I probably have it on a drive somewhere. Once I finished with these two, I only have a final paper for my night class, and then I am completely finished for the semester. It is still so insane to me that my undergraduate career is coming to a close. In 11 days, I will be graduating. I will be done with this chapter of my education. Oh, I completely forgot that I haven't written an update since I took that test on Saturday. Well, I thought it went okay. There were 3 essay questions, so of course I did them first because that's my method. It definitely works, by the way. I thought the essays were easy because they were fairly general and I could choose what grade level to write about for each one. Of course, I chose kindergarten. It is the grade I have the most experience / expertise in now, as much expertise as I can actually have at this point. It was the multiple choice that kind of threw me. The OPTI, that's the name of the test, is pre-K through 8, so there were a ton of questions about older grades. I think it was really unfairly skewed. I saw just a couple of questions about pre-K and kindergarten, hardly any about first and second, quite a few about third, and then about a million about fourth through eighth grades. I, of course, have not spent the last 4 years of my life learning what 14-year-olds are supposed to be learning about or what works best for them. So I just had to use my knowledge of younger children and try to logically translate it up. It is interesting because my degree, my original certification was only pre-K through third. It makes sense for elementary ed because they are first through eighth. So you are supposed to graduate knowing like the gamut. But I technically was only supposed to know pre-K through third with my early childhood degree. And then later I added on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I technically now I am pre-K through 8, but I mean it's just like there's nobody is like an expert in pre-K through 8 like every single year. That's insane. I know there are people who will say there's a lot of people who work for the district or whatever, but like I've taught every grade from pre-K to 12. Like congrats, jack of all trades. But you know what they say, you know what the rest of that quote is. Anyway, I just had to use my knowledge of younger children and try to logically translate it up. I think I passed this with absolutely no problem. For a few of them, I also just thought back to how I was 8 years ago when I was an eighth grader. That's wild. And tried to figure out the answer that way. It was rough. I think I did well enough, but it still didn't seem very fair. I'm always like, I don't know how it went, like at like a 98%. Other than that, I don't have anything to talk about tonight. Week of the young child is over as of Saturday, and I'm very relieved. I got a ton of hours last week. Well, a ton compared to how many I've been getting every other week this semester, which is generally about 7. And I would think I was making $7 an hour. So every week I was bringing in a nice $40 after taxes, probably 30. I'm truly still exhausted from it all. I think I may just go to sleep right now. I still haven't said anything about my job. Now I'm like, okay, I just need to know. OKC Memorial Marathon race 2013. I must know. I must know when it was. It was on April 28th. Oh, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Okay. It was the last Sunday in April. Okay. So I still have a week until the timeline matches up with, okay, I have not got my job offer yet. Why did they take so long to offer me the job? Now I think about it, I interviewed over spring break. I was waiting like 6 weeks for that job offer. It's wild. Because I've never, I, for the last three jobs I've gotten, because since that job, like I've had four teaching jobs basically. So I had that one. And then when I moved to North Carolina, I was offered the job approximately 6 minutes after the interview ended. Like I finished my interview. I said like, well, actually, I had done an interview the day before at a different school. They had called me that night to offer the job, like a few hours later, and I told them I needed to take a day. I think they were put off by that, but I'm glad I did because I knew that I had two other interviews scheduled for the next day. And so I went to this one in the morning and immediately I got like way better vibes. Like I felt really good about it. 'Cause I don't know. I just moved here. I didn't know the schools or anything, but I just like got really good vibes from the team that interviewed me. The school was beautiful. And I just said at the end, like, well, this is like a little like ooh, I was like a little businesswoman. I said, when can I expect to hear from you? Because I do have another job offer and I have a couple more interviews scheduled. And they were like, okay, like we'll let you know soon. I was like, sassy. So then I was leaving. Like I got my stuff and I was walking out to the car in the parking lot and the principal chased me down. I heard, man, she chased me down the parking lot. I was like, yes, hello, hi. And she said, can I get you like, do you want me to go ahead and call and cancel those other interviews for you? Is how she worded it. She's like, can I call and cancel your other interviews? And I was like, expound, what are you saying? And she was like, will you come work for us? I was like, yeah. So I accepted the job in the parking lot and then called that other school and I was like, sorry, took another job, bye bye. And then I called, canceled my other interviews. So that job, got that job quickly. Then the next job I got, I had an in with the assistant principal from the first job, moved to be the assistant principal at the second job. And so I applied, like I went through all of the process and stuff, but the interview, oh, it's kind of a formality. And then the principal of that school brought me over to this school. So I didn't have to interview over here. So I guess I'm not actually used to interviewing for jobs or like any sort of waiting period. Maybe that's weird. Maybe waiting 6 weeks to hear if you got a job is the normal one. And the fact that I got all my jobs in either 5 minutes or less is the weird one. Maybe that's um now that I'm saying it out loud, that probably sounds more unusual. I think most people probably don't get immediate job offers or just get delivered jobs, which the last I have been very fortunate because teaching, I said this in my teacher of the year interview, I think, or in one of the essays, in something for teacher of the year, I talked about how teaching, I mean, so much of it is about connections and impressions and like making, like showing up and like proving that you're a hard worker, a good worker, a good teacher, like that you're with it, proving yourself to lots of people because you never know who is gonna take you where. And that has paid off for me twice now. So, and then I have definitely burned some. I'm sure there's probably opportunities I've cost myself by burning bridges. But usually, if I burn a bridge, I like it wasn't one I really wanted to go down, but I never know. There could have been something that I cost myself from not remaining friends with a certain person. I don't know. I'll never know. I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel fine with my choice. All right. Whew. Okay. It's a busy week. Um, I think I'm ready for tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go and hope that the test tomorrow goes well. And I'll check in tomorrow afternoon and either be like, yay, or I won't have, I'll have a semblance of the scores. I won't have the official scores, but I'll have vibes. I'll be able to tell. Bye. Hi. It is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2023, 2025. God. I don't think today was a good day. It's like hard to pinpoint what exactly was bad about it, but I just have this overwhelming feeling that I just want to sit here and cry for a little bit. So that's how I know it was bad. The reading test today, it was okay. I would say I think 50% of them like passed no problem, like, did as well as I had hoped or, whatever within that range. I had three that I'm like, I feel pretty good about. A couple heartbreaks. There always are. I always know there's going to be, and I always hope there won't be. There always is. But this one was a real breaker. And there's someone freaking at my door. Good thing I wasn't already sitting here and crying because the student forgot something and had to come back for it. But yeah, there was a heartbreaker for the test. And it's with a kid who I know is trying really hard. She's got so much test anxiety and I don't know. I just had a lot higher hope. Like she wasn't one of the heartbreaks I expected. So it really stings. And I don't know, with reading tests, it's so hard to figure out like what went wrong because reading is so, I don't know. And then recess drama, I'm stressed about the field trip. And then like, I don't know. I feel like I'm spiraling. Good thing I'm not taking a reading test. I don't know. There's I don't know, just a lot of little stuff today that add up to a bad day. The test threw the schedule off. I didn't accomplish what I wanted to. Things were taking longer than I meant for them to. Yeah, I don't know. We're 2 days into the week. I haven't pulled a single small group. I just had such high hopes for this week, and it's just not really going the way I wanted it to. I think I feel like a big looming cloud is this field trip. So I think if I sit down right now and I like count up, and just like get the invoice and get the check written and sent off, I think I'll feel a lot better about that. And also my national board writing. I think that's looming over me as well. I did a pretty big chunk of it last night. I felt good about that, but I don't know. Yeah, I just feel a little bit ineffectual in all aspects of my life right now. Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, it's just kind of like a crummy off day. I'm hoping tomorrow we can reset because we don't test tomorrow, but then we do have one on Friday, so that's gonna throw it off again. I don't know. I didn't love today. I didn't love it. I'm glad it's over. I've not yet decided if I'm just gonna sit here and cry. I'll make that decision later. My heart will tell me what to do. All right, let's see what was going on 12 years ago. Tuesday, April 23rd, 2013. Today, I taught a lot. I guess I shouldn't have expected to just sit back and relax this week. Erin had to go sub in fifth grade this morning, so I taught all morning and then half of the afternoon while she was at swimming again. It was almost like being back in my ICS weeks. What is that? And that must have been like my 2 weeks of like, who knows what that stood for. Having total control of the classroom. It was kind of a hard day though, because I just really felt like the children were super loud and nothing I said or did could calm them down. Okay, well, there's that. Christina, Margie's student teacher and my classmate since Block 1, made a good point today during our final supervisors meeting. She says she feels like these days, since she's not teaching anything, the only time she has to address the whole group is to yell at them. I kind of agree. We're not, or most of us are not anyway, teaching anything at all this week. So there's a lot of sitting and watching like we're back in week 1 again. If we do have to get the whole group's attention, it's because they're being too loud or something is wrong or whatever. I'm going to consciously try to make the most of my interactions positive. I should be doing this anyway, but it's hard right now, especially since I'm back in charge. I have to be more grrr with them at times. I do feel, though, that when I am doing opening or reading, I keep it pretty calm and sweet. I noticed a few weeks ago that when Erin teaches the whole class, she lowers her voice to almost whisper and keeps their attention by drawing them in. I tried that this week and bam, it's like magic. And I feel I tend to be louder, not like in a yelling way, just like when I'm doing whole class stuff. I'm very like loud and animated. Tomorrow they have music at a super weird time, like 1:15 or something crazy. Oh, how crazy. It's because I don't remember what the schedule was, so I don't remember how crazy that was. So it's going to mess up our schedule again. I've been taking my computer to school and working on my final projects during my breaks when they're in music or PE or even on my lunch break sometimes. No, I the teachers at the school did not really ever have meetings during their planning period. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I don't ever remember going to a PLC or like, and that's true. My first couple years of teaching, I also like my planning periods were like fully mine, but I worked at a private school, so I thought maybe that was why. But yeah, now I'm just like realizing like I really could just do whatever I wanted during my planning. Sometimes the teachers would leave and like go down to the gas station and grab something to drink, which again, I did do during my first 2 years of teaching, but I thought it was like a private school thing. But I don't know. I wonder if it was just like the time. Like, I wonder if today the teachers at that same school do like PLCs and datas, dives, and all the fun stuff we get to do during our planning or not. I don't know. When did they do their lesson plan? I don't know. And there were also only like two teachers per grade level. So maybe they just kind of casually met all the time. I don't know. That's interesting. Anyway, tomorrow I'll probably do that at our weird music time. I'm almost done. I can see the finish line. I have one more project to do, a one-page paper for my night class. One-page paper. That's nothing. And I think I can do that over the rest of this week. This race, or like a marathon this semester took forever, is almost over. I am almost a certified teacher. Oh, yeah, because this, I think, yeah, it only goes to, well, I know it's supposed to be 70 days, and then there was something weird with the snow days. Maybe I might go a little farther, but yikes. It's done. In this world, I think the last day of school is 7 weeks from today. I'm pretty sure I did the math right. So 7 weeks. It's not that long. That would be 35 school days, except we have Memorial Day in there. So that's only 34 school days, and two of them are half days. So that's not much left. It's not much time left. Okay, I need to reset this test. It was disappointing. I need to like sit down and look at it and figure out what went wrong and look at the questions and be like, okay, what do we need to review? But I just don't think I have it in me today. I really don't think I do. So I'm probably not going to. I could do it tomorrow. I don't have anything after school tomorrow. I think right now I'm going to focus on like field trip logistics and like getting all that, and that'll be this like huge weight off my chest. So that's what I'm going to work on. All right. Bye. Ooh, today is Thursday, April 24th. Oh, when I tell you my room is a disaster. Oh my gosh. I just, there's just stuff everywhere. And I have so much to do. But I mean, I think I would say today was a good day. It was one of those days where I felt good about everything we did. I just don't feel like we did enough. But we did some fun things today. We had our first debate. I walked them through how to debate and come up with evidence and create counter arguments. And like they did it. So that was really fun. Writing went okay. I don't know. It was just like, I, baby, I was like running today. I felt like I was 100 steps behind in everything I did. I was able to do a couple of like the M class stuff. There's pencils everywhere. We have the math test tomorrow, so I need to cover all the math stuff. It's like, okay, it's 3 o'clock. I don't have any time sensitive things, except I just have to pick my daughter up by 4:45. So I think what I'm gonna do is I was like, parents are texting me field trip stuff. I got the check written. I need to take it to the post office. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to this works for me at home sometimes, like when I'm by myself, I'm the only parent in the house on weeks like that, like this week, and we get home and everyone's got backpacks and there's laundry and I'm like, okay, shut the door, send the kids to the playroom, put on my headphones and like set a timer, be like, for the next 20 minutes, like just see how much you can get done. I think that's what I'm gonna do here. After I finish recording this, I'm gonna set a 20-minute timer and I'm going to clean, organized. I mean, I was just like, kids were handing me things at the end of the day, and I was just like, sure, I have like papers they need to grade. I was just, their stuff is in the wrong place. So I'm going to get everything in the right place. I'm going to prioritize covering up the math stuff for the test tomorrow. Going to respond to these parent texts. I set 4 calendar reminders for myself after school, just today, like throughout the day, be like, okay, yeah, I gotta remember that. Gotta do that. Gotta do that. One of them is cover the math stuff. So that's good. I don't even remember the other 3 are, but they'll start popping up on my phone any second, I'm sure. But yeah, I do feel like a weight has been lifted with the field trip stuff because last night I was like, you know what? It's not gonna hurt to just send a text blast out to the families in my class and just say, hey, we have some people who've requested scholarships. Um, does anyone want to? Oh, just got a calendar reminder. That one's cover the math stuff. So I already got that one up here. But I sent a message. I said, hey, we have some kids who've requested scholarships to cover their tickets for the field trip. Would anyone like to sponsor? I got 4. That's all we needed because we had 6 requests for sponsorships, and 2 had come in previously, and I got 4 more last night. I think we're gonna be good. I think it's all working out. I just went ahead and I told the bookkeeper, just write the check for the full amount. We'll make, like we've got at least enough for the tickets in our account. Anything else we need to collect will be to pay the bus. And I think we'll be able to do it and just write the check so I can freaking send it. And I didn't really know how it worked, so I thought maybe she had to send the check, and I was nervous because she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna like pay for tracking or anything. But really how it works, I learned, is she writes the check and she gives it to me. So now I have like a $6,000 check in my bag. And I'm responsible for like mailing it to the right place. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing. I looked it up. It's like $20 to send it like expedited, basically, not overnight, but like to make sure it gets there by next Friday. It's like $20. I will eat that cost. I will personally, that is my donation to this field trip because I don't want there to be any question about did it get there on time, or like, any question of like, did it arrive within the 3-week window? So, or the 2 week, it's supposed to arrive within the 2-week window. So they say send it in a 3-week window. And then something online said send it 4 weeks in advance. I'm like, baby, I'm going to make sure it gets there I'll pay the 5-day shipping or whatever it is. So I'm going to go, that is something I have to go do after school. I need to like drive to FedEx or something to get that sent out. But anyway, none of that has anything to do with this. I just needed to like download that, upload that, whatever, get that out of my brain. And let's see what was going on 12 years ago. This is very erratic, but that's kind of how I'm feeling today. And I don't even know what to expect for the test tomorrow. It is what it is. We'll see how it goes. And if nothing else, I'll have some information to carry into the last like 5 instructional weeks of the school year, essentially. 5.5 instructional before we start like testing and stuff. All right. It is what it is. Okay. We're on day 68, I believe. Yes, April 24th. That's today. All right. April 24th, 2013. Today was the same as yesterday in the fact that I felt like a complete monster who was just so grumpy and yelly the entire time. Not today for me. I'm doing okay. Maybe it's because I wasn't expecting it, and kindergarten is always the opposite of what I expect, I found. I tried really, really hard to be positive, but they're just in a mood or something where sassing off and talking back is what's going on right now. Yeah, that's true. It's not just me. The kids are driving Erin crazy. They're driving Jenny crazy. The other grades are a little crazy too. Is it the weather? Is there a full moon or something? Just hope it improves tomorrow. I love full moons because we're like, oh, too real. Like, oh, the kids are so crazy. Must be a full moon. Like they're crazy every day. But it's nice to be like, okay, it's just because of the full moon. So tomorrow when the full moon, stops, then everything's gonna be better. Like, that's what it is. It's not just because they're crazy, because of the moon. Today I had my final meeting with Aaron and my university supervisor. It went really well. I graded myself too harshly, as always, but I did give myself some fours this time, which I am proud of. I never do that, so it shows that I really think I've improved this semester. I love listening to Erin talk about what she's seen in me that has improved and where I can still make things better. I am so thankful that she is so honest and realistic, but still nice. I can trust her to seriously tell me when something is absolutely terrible, but also give me help to make it better. I know some people's cooperating teachers just give them all fours and don't provide suggestions for improvement. But Erin has really helped me to see where I'm lacking or confirming what I already see as my weaknesses and given me real great tips for fixing it and the opportunities to fix these things. I need that. We all need that. I'm just lucky enough that I get that. That's something to think about. Yeah, like you do holding people accountable, but giving them the tools to learn is love. I wrote a whole essay about it for Teacher of the Year. They must not have liked it enough since I didn't win, but I still agree with it. The other half of that is she also helps me to see things that I don't see at all. Usually these are my strengths since I tend to miss those and focus on the weaknesses. I get really happy and kind of smiley and giggly on the inside when she tells me I did a good job with something. It sounds so lame typing that out, but it's really how I feel. She's an experienced expert in my eyes, so if she says I did something well, I feel really proud of myself. The last thing I realized today is that the carpool this semester, while also saving me a lot of gas money and miles on my car, not to mention an extra hour of sleep on weeks I don't have to drive. Wait, why do I have an extra hour of sleep on the weeks I don't have to drive? Wait, what does that mean? I had to get up an hour earlier if I was driving? Oh, maybe I mean cumulatively, like 20 minutes per day. But still, why did I have to get there earlier if I was, we just met in the parking lot of a donut shop. And then I guess on the days I was driving, I felt like I needed to get there first because I was driving. I don't know what any of this means, but anyway, whatever. Besides all that, it has given me the chance to get a glimpse into other grades and see what is going on in there. I've never taught in a third grade class, but I sort of know what's going on in there thanks to the two girls who are student teaching there now. Talking on the way to and from school helps us all see common issues, share exciting or funny stories, or just rant when we need to. I didn't really think I would enjoy it this much, but looking back on it, it has been a really good experience. All teachers need time to get together outside of school and talk like this. Yee. With my coworkers, we do it over dinner or on a night out. It's just really important, I think, to spend time together outside of the common place you all share daily. I've been terrible at making friends since as long as I can remember. What do I mean? I mean, I had friends in middle school and high school and elementary school. Maybe I just mean, I don't know why I said as long as I can remember, but in college, it's true. I wasn't great at it. But they're really important, especially teacher friends. I hope that wherever I end up, I can find a group of people to share my experience with, just like I have this semester. I don't know it yet, but I'm about to get a job with my cousin. And on that happy note, I'm going to bed at 9:30. I can't wait until I can stay up a little later and not feel like a disaster the next morning. One more week. Wait, this time's wrong every time? Well, that would explain some things because sometimes I'm looking at the time I post, I'm like, babe, how'd you post this at 3 o'clock? Weren't you at school? Oh, it's like 2 hours. It's 2 hours earlier. I don't know why. It's not like a time zone thing because I was in Central Time. I don't know. Okay. That explains. A good thing I didn't read too much into the timing thing. But I think a couple of times I did mention the time. Like, how how was I already home from work? All right. One more week. One more week. What day is it? It's a Wednesday. So I must have had to finish Friday and then go back Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Every time an email comes in, I get excited because I'm hoping that it is a payment. But today, none of them have been. They have just been emails about other things I have to do. All right, 3:09. By the time I finish doing this and recording it and everything, it's going to be 3:10. And then I'll do my 20 minutes. And I feel like I can accomplish a lot. So let's go. Bye. Today's Friday, April 25th, and today freaking sucks. It sucks. The math test was so bad. They did so bad. And it's not even, they didn't rush through. They were working hard. I saw them. They were like trying. They just did so bad on it. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's not, I'm not even like upset with them. Like I'm like screwing this. I don't know how everything's going so wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like it's like not sticking. They just like how am I messing this up so badly? I've never, I've never, it's never been this bad at this point in the year. I genuinely am like shaken. I could not. I started like tearing up. Like I had to compose myself like in class as the scores started rolling in and I could see how the kids were doing. I was like what am I doing wrong? I I'm saying like a lot. I don't even I can't I thought this is where we had it. Reading was okay. I'm really worried about science, but I thought I felt good about math. That's why I just feel so stupid. What have I like what did I do? I needed to like cry about it and I haven't yet. I should do it later though. I shouldn't do it now. This day's not over yet. I have to go pick him up from PE, but I just can't believe it's like the lowest I feel like I've ever felt after one of these tests. I can't. It was just heartbreak after heartbreak. I kept thinking, well, okay, but I know like that student's going to do well because I've been checking their homework. Like they've been doing well in class. No, I'm like royally screwing this up and I don't know. I just didn't see it coming. I didn't think it was gonna, I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. It's like I need to change my tactics. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Like I just really screwed this up. I really did this wrong. I messed up this week. I don't know. I can just reflect. I have a long time after school because my daughter has a dress rehearsal. It's not till 6. So I have a lot of time to kill. So I can get some stuff done. I just need to like calm down, focus in, like make a plan and start like putting some stuff together because I can't wallow anymore. Like I feel like we're in an emergency situation now. Like this is not good. This is not good. And I don't have that much time to fix this. I can't even like, so I got to figure out, I don't know. Today just freaking sucks. Freaking sucks. And I just want it to be over. I'm just glad I don't have to do Science Olympiad. We had our pizza party today, so we're officially done. Um, so I have my Friday afternoons back. I don't know. I just need to survive the next hour and then Monday we gotta like hit the ground run and I got full 5 day week next week. And like we we gotta figure some stuff out because this is not it. This is not gonna work. I'm not okay with this and we have to figure out what went wrong so we can prevent that from happening again because this is like the lowest I feel like I've felt all year. I mean, I just like fire me now. Like I feel like what am I even doing? Like I'm obviously not teaching them what they're supposed to learn. Like I'm totally screwing this up. Teacher of the year over here. Let's see what was going on. What was happening to me 12 years ago? Tomorrow's Friday. It doesn't feel real. I know we have to come back next Thursday and Friday to make up for our snow days, but it still doesn't feel like I'm almost done. I'm already getting nostalgic and a little weepy thinking about not being with these kids anymore, in this school anymore, with Aaron anymore. I don't think it's quite hit me yet. And it won't hit me until next week when I really, truly have to say goodbye. A few weeks ago, I was so ready. Now I'm not ready, not even a little bit. This week has made it so much harder for me to think about saying goodbye. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm teaching all 26 of them by myself since Erin is swimming from 11:45 to 1:30 and Jenny has lunch duty until about 1:15 every day. And I'm not stressing out about writing down detailed accounts of how they like my lessons and what I think I should improve and whether or not they're learning the names of the oceans. I'm just teaching. I'm seeing what works and what doesn't, and I'm documenting it mostly here, but I'm not spending hours upon hours sitting with my head in a notebook, handwriting an assessment for whether so-and-so used proper capitalization in her journal entry about what pirates eat. I'm just teaching. Today was amazing. Good. I'm glad. In 12 years, you're going to have a really bad day, but I'm happy for you right now. I know the past few days have been stressful, and I feel like I'm just a yelling, screaming, punishing monster, but not today. Today was different. I don't know what it was, but it was perfect. I did the talk quietly to draw them in thing, and it worked the very first time. I had them all write their numbers 1 to 100, and I was expecting a lot of moaning and complaining and refusal to do it, but there was none. I had them all sit and listen while I clearly explained my expectations. I handed them their papers, and they did it. They sat there, 25 of them today, and wrote. They didn't talk. They didn't scream my name every 5 seconds to ask me, why do we have to write so much? They really wanted to do it and do it right. They raised their hands to ask for help writing a number. They weren't falling out of their chairs or getting up to sharpen their pencil every minute or whining about how their hands hurt. And trust me, that's what I usually get when it's time for handwriting. They just did it. One boy was making some noises when he was writing, just weird squeaking noises with his mouth, and I think he may have been doing subconsciously. And rather than everyone in the room yelling, "Be quiet!" the other children at his table said, "Can you please stop? I'm trying to concentrate." No joke, exactly that phrasing. I don't know if we accidentally put a sedative in their spinach at lunch, but it was a miniature miracle for me. I took a video to show Erin when she got back because I just could not believe how quiet they were. 20 of them finished their numbers in about 20 minutes. The other 5 I will help finish tomorrow. This thumbs up behavior, as I've grown accustomed to calling it, lasted pretty much all afternoon. They did a good job when they went next door for math, and Miss Margie's group did excellent for me in reading too. I don't know what the deal was with today, but it was good. I liked it. I want it to stay that way. I'm hopeful that it will, and that tomorrow will be just as wonderful as today was. We all need these days. And the ones that motivate us and validate what we're doing and send us home smiling and excited for what tomorrow will bring. I've had more than enough days that do the opposite. I'm so thankful to have some that end up like this. I love to leave school happy. I have faith that tomorrow will be good. I have faith that tomorrow will be good. Yeah. It's gonna be fine. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Okay, I have to go pick him up from B. I can do this. It's gonna be good. I can do this. I'm a good teacher. Okay. It's all good. It's gonna be good. It's good. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Well, tomorrow's Saturday. Monday's gonna be a good day. Hello. Today is Monday, April 28th, 2025. Today was an okay day. And Friday was rough. Friday was really rough. But I had my morning period and we're done crying about that. It's time to get to work. So that's what we started today. We're getting to work. We will not let this defeat us. We will persevere and we will sharpen up and we got work to do and we're going to do it. So we started today. It looks so weird behind me with the green because it's covering all my science. We have a science test tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm going to be all sad on Wednesday again, I'm sure, because it's really hard. I looked at the test. It's really hard, but it is what it is. We do our best. We persevere. We learn. We adjust. We move forward. So I would say today was a good day. I got a lot of stuff done. Wrapped up all my novel studies. So got clear to-do lists back there. And tomorrow I start my nonfiction. I'm starting 3 nonfiction books. That'll take us to the end of the year. So the end is in sight. We're getting really close. We're getting really close. I got the confirmation that Carowinds received our check in their lockbox. So I'll give it till the end of the week. And if I haven't heard anything, I'll give them a little call, be like, hey, have you checked your lockbox lately? And it's all going to work out and it's all going to be good. Everything's going to be fine. I had my little freak out, I had my little meltdown, and now we lock in, we focus, right? Speaking of having a little meltdown, I believe on my blog, this is going to be my last day of student teaching. So now I'm realizing this whole time I've been saying like, oh, why haven't I said I'm getting a job? Oh, I get the job at the end of April. I forgot you finished student teaching so early. I think I finished the whole thing and never find out that I have this job, which is crazy. I must get the offer like the day after I finish student teaching. And then the next week we like go back to class. And I don't believe that I blogged about that. So I don't know, but it did happen. I got a job. I taught fourth grade. All right, let's see what I had to say. I'm sure it's going to be a long one because it was my very last day. All right. Friday, April 26th, 2013. This is it. Day 70. I've been waiting for this day since I started. I've been counting up, counting down, planning for, and anticipating. And now here it is. I don't even know where to start. I'm getting a little emotional trying to write this. How can I possibly begin to summarize all of the feelings I have today? I know that I'll be back in a week to truly meet all of my requirements, but today really feels like the end. I guess I am a little glad, though, that today wasn't the end. It was Fitness Friday. Consequently, that is why I am sitting here with blue and pink hair. More on that later. And so the end of the day was really rushed and kind of crazy, throwing backpacks around and hurrying everyone out the door. So I didn't really get to say goodbye to any of the kids or Jenny or Aaron. And I didn't have to because I'll be back next week. I'm thankful for that now, looking back on it. I would have been really disappointed if my final memories of all my children were of them sprinting out of the classroom door with their backpacks half open. Next week, I will be able to give them a proper goodbye, and so for that reason, I am glad we'll be back. Let me be clear, that is the only reason I am glad we'll be back. I don't know if I'll even blog next Thursday or Friday. I might if something really extraordinary happens, but for all intents and purposes, this is it. I've reached the finish line in this race. I started without a game plan, took the long way around a couple times too many, and ended up right back where I started, but a million times happier and more proud of myself. Fitness Friday was really fun. Us student teachers prepared a little dance called Ice Cream and Cake, and we all dressed up like different flavors of ice cream. I found this glitter spray and hair color at Walmart last night, and I bought it for us all to use so we had multicolored hair to match our colorful clothes. I was cotton candy ice cream, and I dressed all in blue. Christina even brought me a tutu that I wore for the dance. It was so fun because usually we're all really reserved and professional, but today we got up in front of everybody and danced like fools in our crazy hair. I loved it. Everyone was so shocked at how into it we got. I don't think they were all expecting us to go all out like we did. The bathroom that we got ready in still smelled like hairspray an hour later. We used a lot of it. I remember this. It was fun to just be silly for once and not care how I looked. Teachers need to do stuff like this because the kids love it and it really gets them excited for whatever's going on. Before this semester, I would never have dreamed that I would be doing a dance in front of 400 people with a blue and pink side ponytail and a tutu. And yet, here we are. At the end of every year, fifth grade, we have a dance for the kids, just the fifth graders, to come like an end of the year celebration. We do it the night before graduation. And I always like dance and sing karaoke and stuff at that. And the kids are like, what? Oh my gosh. Like, we didn't know you were like this. Like, well, surprise. I feel like it kills a little bit of my credibility. So I wait until the very end of the year, but it is fun to do stuff like that. I did not cry today. I think it was because I knew it wasn't truly the end. I can't speak for next Friday yet, but I think that's when the waterworks might start. Correct. Today, Aaron signed my last weekly evaluation. It's weird. I have all my paperwork done. There are no more lessons to write or evaluate, no more reflections to do, no more forms to fill out or evaluations to get signed. It's all done. My binder is finished. My projects are done. I still can't really fathom what it is going to be like to not be an early childhood undergraduate student anymore. It's been my life for the last 4 years. Wow, 4 years. It sounds like such a long time, and yet it feels like yesterday that I walked into my little freshman experience class with no idea what I was getting myself into. I don't know if I'm ready for it to be over. I never really seriously thought about what it would be like to be finished. I've been saying how ready I am to be done, and now I'm approaching the end of my marathon, and I'm actually surprised to see the finish line. It's weird how things happen like that. You are so, so, so ready to be done with something. And then, bam, when it hits you, you're a weepy, sobby, scared little mess who just wants to have a little more time to figure it all out. It kind of reminds me of pregnancy. Like, is it over yet? Like, oh, I don't want to be pregnant anymore. And then at the end, you're like, wait a second, I'm about to have a baby. Are you sure? Wait a second. Hold on now. Hold on. Give me a second. Is that what I am right now? I don't know. I think I might just be rambling because I don't want to be done with this entry yet. I'm not ready to say goodbye to my little blog that's carried me through this semester. I don't know what I'm going to do with this blog now. I think I want to keep it going in some way. It has been good for me. It's given me an outlet for my excitements and frustrations. It's let me talk things out and organize my thoughts. It has truly made me a better teacher this semester, and I don't think I'm ready to let it go. I think I'll keep it alive somehow. I'll never truly be done learning, especially my first few years of teaching. Maybe it won't be every day, but it'll be here if I need it. I think I blogged twice after I finished this. I think I only did two. But I think that's okay. Like, I needed it when I needed it, and then I let it go when I didn't need it anymore, and that's fine. I am glad, I brought it back to life with this, and I'm glad I did this. 12 years later, like it was the right time. So who knows? Maybe 12 years from now, I'll look back on these and reflect on where I am then. I'll be so old. I'll have teenagers. One final thing I realized today. In the carpool home yesterday, a couple of the girls were talking about how they're worried that when it comes time for them to get a job, they're not going to enjoy teaching. They're worried that they've put all this time into it and that they're going to be bad at it, or it's going to burn them out, or that they just won't like it as much as they thought they would. I was surprised because that's exactly how I felt at the beginning of this semester, and now it's completely changed. I didn't know that other people thought this way, and I'm kind of sad for them because this semester did change my mind about wanting to be a teacher, but it made me want to do it more, not the opposite. I was ready to find a completely different career path when I started this semester, days 2, 3, 4. I made that clear to Erin. I told her I didn't think I wanted to teach anymore, and I was a little scared and unsure about what I wanted to do with my life. And then I changed. She changed me, and these kids changed me, and this school changed me. I want to do it now. I really, really do. I'm still going to go for my PhD. Nope. And probably end up teaching at a university somewhere. Nope. I know that I won't be in an elementary classroom forever. I did take a break. I'm back now. Who knows? This might be true. I don't know. But I know that when I am teaching children, it won't just be to build up my credibility in the future or to make money while I'm trying to decide where to apply for school or any of those things I thought it was going to be just 4 short months ago. It's going to be because I want to and because I am good at it. I am a good teacher. That's true. I'm not going to ask myself if I can learn to teach anymore. I know I can. I have, and I will continue to. I will be able to do this. I know I will because I have already done it. I am capable. I am not going to be scared and tear myself down anymore. I am not going to be so hard on myself. I am going to try and see my strengths, not the ones that others see, but I deliberately look past because sometimes I'm more comfortable seeing my bad qualities instead of my great ones. But I can't do that anymore because everyone who has supported me through this semester, including me now, knows this to be true. I am smart. These are self-affirmations. I am prepared and I am passionate. I am no longer the scared, passionless girl I was on January 14th, 2013. I am a teacher. Really, truly, honestly. Well, she knows how to stick a landing, doesn't she? Look at that. Whew. I am a good teacher. I am a good teacher. I am a good teacher. I became a teacher for the money and fame. Sometimes kids ask me about that one. They're like, what does that mean? And I said, well, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. So it's a joke. Whew, I am a good teacher. I am. On Friday, I felt like a shitty teacher, but that was Friday. And today's Monday. And today I feel good. And my camera is telling me that it's time to say goodbye now. She's tired. She's been working hard all day. All right. See if I can get turned back on to say bye. Bye. Hi. Today's Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. It's been a minute. I did not realize I went in on Friday, last Friday, to do my vlog and realized that I did not have one to do because me from 12 years ago waited like almost a week between my last, like my day 70 and my final post. So I decided I would also wait. Give my camera a little break. She was getting a little tired. I'm not sure, she could turn off any second, but yeah. So the last one I wrote was called Epilogue, my list of lasts. Today for me was a good day. Oh my gosh, and since I haven't talked since last Friday, the kids actually did really well on their science test. They did amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was such a high. I've had a good 2 days this week so far. Like I'm feeling really good. There's a crazy amount of stuff to do for field trip. So I'm a little stressed about that, but I'm feeling good overall. So I'm hoping to finish these last few weeks strong, this last month or so. All right, it says Epilogue, my list of lasts, May 7th, 2013. I've been putting off writing this blog entry for 4 days. Maybe it's because I didn't know what to say. That's not true. I knew exactly what I want to say. Maybe it's because there's just too much I want to say. Again, a lie. I have it all planned out. I had it planned out on Friday afternoon. I just didn't write it. The real reason I didn't blog last Thursday or Friday was simply because I could not handle it. I kind of thought I might cry a little and be sad when I left them for the last time, but I had no idea. I started getting a little misty-eyed when the final bell rang, and I gave each kid a hug on their way out of the door for the last time. I walked them to the bus and then went back in for my bag like I always did. I said goodbye to my desk and the room and the hallway. I do this weird thing when I leave a building for the last time. Don't judge me. It may or may not involve me blowing kisses to inanimate objects. I still do this. I still do this when I leave a classroom or a house, like when we move away. I thank each room for like what it's given me or each part of the room, or just like appreciating the space that, I was so important in my life for so long or for any period of time. Even if my last classroom before this one, I was only in for 1 year, but I mean, 1 year in a classroom there's a billion things that happen in that room to be thankful for and to not be thankful for, but to be thankful for the experience and the growth. So I still do this. I went through the office to give Jenny her goodbye present, and she gave me a hug, and oh my God, was I about to cry. I basically had to run out of the building. I got into my car and drove down the road about 10 feet and then totally lost it. I literally cried the entire way home, which is a 35-minute drive, so I feel like I set a new record for myself in recent years. It was hard. I don't know why it affected me so much. I mean, I do, but I don't. Of course, I'll miss them, but it was more than that. This school was kind of the final piece in my learning to teach puzzle, and I just wasn't really ready to say goodbye to it yet. I think the other reason I was so upset is because my list of lasts. Megan, what is that, you ask? Hold on, I'm getting to it. In life, sometimes we can't ever be sure when the last time we're going to do something is. The first time is obvious. If you've never done it before, and then you do it, that's the first time. Everyone's immediately aware of their first time to do the big things in life. First day of school, first kiss, first car they've owned, etc. That's easy. What's hard is knowing when the last time you'll do something is. We often can't be 100% sure of when the last time of anything will be until it's already happened. In retrospect, it's easy to create a list of lasts. It's much harder to see them coming. Some people might like to see them coming. I don't want to. What hurt me so much about last week was I saw the lasts coming. It sounds kind of silly, but if you know something is going to be the last time, you treat it differently. You pay more attention to things and you try to cherish it and you want it all to be perfect because you know you're never going to get a chance to do those things again. But by doing all of that, you take away from whatever it was. You try to make it perfect, and it's so upsetting when it isn't. You start to think, what if the last thing I say to this child is negative? Or what if I never get to give him or her one more hug? Or what if I don't say goodbye? And you spend so much time trying to perfect your last moments that you miss them. When I look back at my lifelong list of lasts, I can tell the difference between the ones I saw coming and the ones I did not. The unexpected lasts might not have been perfect. And sometimes I think if I had known the last time I blank was going to be the last time, I would have done blank, blank, and blank differently. I sometimes wish I could go back and cherish those last moments one more time. But at the same time, at least I know those moments were genuine. I wasn't trying to make them perfect because I didn't know they were going to end up on my list of lasts. They certainly weren't perfect. A lot of times they were absolutely terrible, but at least they were real. I knew my last day was going to be my last day. It was scheduled for me. I couldn't change it. I knew my last moments were coming. The bell rings at 3:10 every day, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. My lasts were decided for me. I tried to make them perfect because I saw them coming. I was already sad going into them because I knew they were it. That was the end. I wish I'd been happy going into my last moments with my kids, but I just couldn't be because I knew I was probably never going to see them again. I didn't. I never saw any of them again. How can anyone possibly be happy going into that? I just can't fathom how I would have done that. There's that Dr. Seuss quote, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." Well, I am smiling. I had a lot of wonderful positive experiences this semester, and even some terrible ones that I learned lots from. But I still cried because it was over. I can do both, Dr. Seuss. Don't tell me what to do. One thing I did love about Friday, though, one thing I've loved my whole life is that some things just work out perfectly. Sometimes it's like the universe is telling me, okay, Megan, look at this. This is how it should go. Do not argue. It happens to me sometimes with specific dates popping up all over the place or certain songs playing on the radio right when I'm driving past something that ties it all together. But sometimes it happens in other ways. On Friday, I went to change the student of the day name. This child gets to be the line leader, do the most work on the smartboard during opening, and lead calendar time. The names rotate in alphabetical order. On Friday, I reached into the folder, and the name on top was Tommy's. It was Tommy's day to be line leader. And I almost couldn't believe it, because the day I walked into the classroom, January 14th, 2013, Tommy was the line leader. He was it on my first day, and he was it on my last. If that's not the universe telling me everything is supposed to end this way, I don't know what is. It's hard, but I really feel like I have to listen when things like that happen. I have to accept that it was the end, because it was. Everything was telling me that it was. Everything that happened on that day is now a part of my list of lasts. It was so weird to give this blog a real, actual title. It's not just a number anymore. The numbers are gone. I graduated on Saturday. I finished my 4 years as an undergraduate. My list got a whole lot longer over the past few weeks. It's sad when I have to add something to the list, but it's just a part of growing up, I guess. I don't know. This is why it took me so long to write this. I know what I want to say, and I'm trying to say it. I'm usually pretty good about writing how I feel. I'm just really bad about being willing to share it with people. But this blog changed that, and I could not be more grateful for it. So I never mentioned my new job. I don't know. I know I blogged 2 more times after this. Once during my first year of teaching and once during my second year of teaching. And then I never blogged again. I don't know. I needed it. I needed it when I had it. And I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad that I saved it in a medium where I'm able to go back and reread it. But once I started being a teacher, I didn't really need it anymore. I tried it a couple of times. I thought maybe it was something I'd pull out every so often, but I haven't needed it the way I needed it that semester. I mean, gosh, it all worked out, didn't it? I got my first job. I was there for 2 years. Then I moved schools. I was there for 3 years. Then I moved schools and I was there for 4 years. Now I'm at this school, so I gotta be here for 5 years. Right? Yeah, I'll probably just stay here for longer than that, I imagine. I just feel like 12 years ago, that Megan would never have dreamed that I would like still be doing this. I thought that I'd made a mistake, and then I thought that I had not made a mistake. And then after a couple years in the classroom, I was like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. So I took a little break and still in the school, but I moved into instructional coaching. I thought maybe that was the move. I thought about all these different, like, do I want to get my PhD? Like, I assumed that classroom teaching would not be it for me. I assumed that I would move not beyond, like not to something better, but just something different. I kind of thought this would be like a stop on the way to somewhere else. And right now, May 2025, I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I'm going to be doing this for a long time. I feel really good. And I think going back and visiting the way I felt 12 years ago reminded me of so much. There's so much I forgot, confirmed a few things about me, and just like was a good, this was a good experience to realize like it's always a roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, 12 years in, some days I got on here so excited, like manic, moving around crazy. I literally like sat and cried in front of this computer by myself because of like the days I had. I freaking won teacher of the year this year, and I was a semifinalist for the district. The teacher of the year banquet was last Thursday. It was hilarious. I wish I was technologically savvy enough to, if I could somehow put in a clip of this teacher of the year banquet. It was so fun. I went with my husband. The food was really good. Like, it was a good experience. I got to go up and get my little certificate, but we were sitting right in front of the band, which was a high school jazz band from a local high school. They were so good. You would think they were professional. They were so good. There was maybe like 8 of them. They were singing, playing instruments, but we were like right next to them. And they were like playing like jazz instruments, so like saxophones and like trombones and stuff. And so it was so loud that we could barely hear each other talk. But I took a video. I'm like, even there's no way the video even captures like precisely how loud it was at our table. And we were sitting right under the air conditioning vent. So it was definitely an experience. But like all of that, like that happened to me this year. I became teacher of the year, like top 12 in the district. That's a big deal. It's just, and then there were some days I was on here crying about like how I'm a horrible teacher and I don't want to do this anymore. It's just like it's always a roller coaster, isn't it? I don't know if it ever gets easier. I think we just like we get better, but it's always it'll be nice to look back on this, hopefully, in, many years from now and see how I'd grown since 2013 and then hopefully how I've grown since right now. I'm older. I'm a parent to teenagers. That's the next time. The next time I go back and revisit this, I'll wait until I have teenagers and then I can go back and reflect on my life at this time and how I thought everything was so crazy and so hard. And I'll probably look back and be like, you thought. Because that's what I feel like I said that to 2013 Megan a lot as I was revisiting this. Like, girl, you thought you knew. You thought it was hard. You thought that this was the path you were going to take. We never know, though, do we? One thing I have learned through doing this vlog is that I'm a serial outfit repeater. I'm pretty sure if you went and cataloged all of the tops I wore in all of these vlogs, it's like maybe 10. I wear the same thing like all the time. I don't care. I don't have time to think about it. God, I wish I wore a school uniform so I wouldn't have to like, I mean, yeah. I don't have time. Like I have like 6 shirts, okay? A couple of dresses. But yeah, as I was like looking at just the thumbnails of all the videos, I'm like, I pretty much just wear the same outfits all the time. And I start almost every video like with my hand like this. I love to like lean on my hand and contemplate, think about the day. I don't know. I'm not ready to be done, but That's it. That's all there is. And I have 1,000 things to do for this field trip. And I mean, graduation is going to come up sooner than I realize, and report cards and EOGs and. So it's probably good that this is ending a month before the last day of school because this next month is going to be crazy. But I think that's going to be good. I turned in my national board recertification like packet of stuff last night. I submitted, it's due next Friday or Saturday, I think, but I was like, I've looked at it. I've had someone else look at it. I've read the directions. I just need to submit it. I just need to be done with it. Muted all the Facebook groups. Like, I don't want to second guess, like, oh, wait, did I like do this part wrong? I did it right. 99% of people recertify, no problem. And if I did something wrong, I'll fix it next year. Okay. For right now, I'm done. Whew. Man, I wish I had like a deep, profound way to end this. But I don't know. I guess I'll just say it's been a good 12 years. It really has. And that's even though like three of them, everybody had COVID. It's still been a good 12 years. I've learned a lot. I'm a good freaking teacher. It's Teacher Appreciation Week this week. I appreciate myself and I appreciate past Megan for all of the hard work and the tears and the stress that she went through to get me here. And every iteration of myself since then, every year since I graduated college, I needed that Megan to do what she did to help me be the Megan I am right now. And who I am right now is getting me ready for who I'll be next year and on down the road. So I need to remember that, appreciate like the struggles and the stress and the happiness and like all the emotions and the whole roller coaster of everything I'm going through because it's setting me up for what's going to come. And I think what's going to come is going to be good. I think it's going to be good. All right. That's all I have. Bye.